This is your alternative search news for week 51 of 2020. We have a lot to cover today, so let's dive in. First, in the news, we are back, or we haven't left. Is it the second wave, the third wave, the non-stop core update of December 2020? I don't know what's happening. All I know is I owe you guys a live stream about it. I got all my information. I have my theories. I just need to do it. But yeah, as usual, Barry Schwartz on Search Engine Roundtable is reporting whatever the chatter is saying around the internet about what's going on. In my opinion, you should not isolate one update over the other. It's just a continuation. But this one has something very special in the bag, in my opinion. And it's about the difference between crawling and indexing. There is something happening there. Crawling, yes. Indexing, no. And that was not the way Google was doing it before. It was crawling, indexing, doing all the calculation, then throwing away the bad stuff. What about if it was crawling and not indexing what it considered bad or not quality, quote unquote? Problem is, it seems they got some problems tweaking and this goddamn machine learning. So, to be continued for sure. Next in the news, on Google Search Central, developers.google.com, an update on the structured data testing tool. You have to go to schema.org/event to get one type of tool, and then you can still go to the Google search rich results test, okay? And in the Search Console also. So schema.org, rich result test, and Search Console, your three places to implement my favorite structured data. I mean, my favorite topic of the moment, one of my favorite topics is structured data. So not only test them, but use them. Next in the news, on thinkwithgoogle.com by Alistair Rennie and Johnny Prothero. They work on Google's consumer insight team. Never heard of them, but I guess they know what they're talking about. It's another analysis of what we call the consumer journey, the purchase journey, the conversion funnel, or whatever it is. If you remember ZMOT from 2011, that was the first study of the kind from Google. So it's 2011. So almost 10 years later, another study, and the subtitle, The Messy Middle of the Purchase Journey. Very interesting read. Go get it. Go, because you need to understand that what's called the cognitive bias. There's about like 25 main cognitive biases to know, and you have to understand that search today is definitely not what it was, or the customer journey leading to a purchase is not what it was back in 2011, it's more complex. However, at the end of the day, it still goes to show that at the end, the very moment you buy is fully based on emotions. Next, on another official blog, .google. Redesigning search would harm American consumers and businesses, by Adam Cohen, Director of Economic Policy at Google. You know, there's a lawsuit. I reported it. And even if you didn't listen to my news, you probably know that DOJ, Department of Justice, Congress, they're all over Google. And now the lawsuit is happening. But the Google propaganda is also happening. And I see all those ads popping up all over social media about how Google is helping out small businesses and so on and blah, blah. That's pure propaganda, trying to craft a story about how Google is doing so much good for the world. They are doing so much good for the world. But let's not forget that there is a lawsuit not for nothing, and DOJ barely touched on the real problems about Google. Why? Because, for example, they don't even know what an SEO is. Me, you, us. We don't exist. So Google dominates the world. We dominate Google, and we are invincible. Pretty powerful, guys. Think about it. But now the story is stating that if they wanted to change the way they're doing things, it would be less useful to you. Because if they can track you, if they have to redesign the way the Google search works, it would be at the expense of the small mom and pop type businesses. It's the story they're telling through this kind of blog post and through all those ads I see. Don't get fooled, guys. The don't be evil part of Google is long gone. Next, in the news, on TheVerge.com, prosecutors say Google access private WhatsApp messages, but the evidence is thin. A new lawsuit alleges a backroom deal between Google and Facebook. So it's the Texas Attorney General announced that they filed this suit. And yes, in fact, it's most definitely one of those things where you know they're guilty, but you can't really prove it. As far as I know, IMO, in my opinion, the fact that there would be a deal between Google and Facebook could be, could not be. The fact that Google can see a lot more things that you wish for, especially on the Android device, on the smartphone, that's another story. But I'm not sure. I don't know about this one. I don't even know if they need the backroom deal to see what's going on inside WhatsApp. To be continued. Not really any... I don't want to make any statement there because it's alleged. Okay? Let's keep it alleged for now. Next in the news, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission of the United States of America, issues orders to 9 social media and video streaming services seeking data about how they collect, use, and present information. Okay. Amazon, ByteDance, which operates TikTok, Discord, Facebook, Reddit, Snap, Twitter, WhatsApp, and YouTube, have 45 days to give information about how social media and video streaming services collect, use, track, estimate, or derive personal and demographic information, how they determine which ads and other contents are shown to consumers, whether they apply algorithms or data analytics to personal information, how they measure, promote, and research user engagement, and how their practices affect children and teens. That's a mouthful. And how are they going to answer to that? I'm eager to see the answer to that. That's another to be continued type of story. Next in the news on Vice.com. 40 girls do porn victims are suing Pornhub for $1 million each. And I will link it to another news that came out a little bit before on a huge policy shift. Pornhub bans unverified uploads. So this might be the explanation for that. Because, now maybe they heard that they were about to get sued, so quickly they banned anything that wasn't verified. And that's something that they should have done a long time ago. And if Pornhub is not doing it properly, well, guess what? The other ones are also not doing it the way it should be done. So we're going to see a lot of shaking and stirring into those free porn websites, for sure. Next in the news, Majestic.com. Link graph. This is going to change everything forever. If you are following SEO Conspiracy, if you are following the Twitter or the Instagram account especially, I show a lot of crawl, visualization of internal linking. Well, now Majestic is taking it outside because it's the same concept. What I preach about semantic SEO, what I call the topical mesh, is happening on the page, around the page, inside and offsite. Same principle. Very, very, very interesting. To be honest with you, I knew a little bit about it before because I know a couple of people. But yes, now it's out. This is becoming more and more important. Okay, who is in relation to what and why? And even I will introduce when time becomes also a factor. Next in the news on Twitter, Olivier Sauvage, a French fellow SEO, is sharing an image. I think it comes out of the Washington Post, but since they have their goddamn paywall, and in my opinion, paywall equals black hat SEO cloaking, but Google won't do anything about that because, the press is already dying. But okay, that's a little bit going outside the topic. Where the image, if you're listening to the audio podcast, I will describe it for you. It's showing how Google add labels from 2000 to 2020. And we see clearly a trend from 2000 to 2020, where the ads just simply look a lot less like ads. There's just now a little AD in bold in 2020, while in 2000 it was sponsored link on the right, and it was a light blue background. Yeah. Yep. More money, more ads. That's the game, guys. When a company like Google goes IPO, remember, every quarterly they have to report to investors. And they have to do everything they can to make more and more and more money. So, making ads that don't look like ads, I guess, if you're in Google's shoes, what will you do? Next in the news, on Twitter.com, reported by Rajan Patel. Are you related to the other Patel, Mr. Rajan? On Android, we launched our first cloud stream 3D content in search, enabling users to see cars in high fidelity and with a set of cinematic 3D backgrounds to get the most photorealistic 3D experience to date. Check out the Corvette 2020 Audi R8 or 250 plus more models now. So no, Mr. Rajan Patel is, I don't think, related to the other Patel, but I'm not sure about what he says, where it's, we launch our first cloud streamed 3D content in search. I read the word search with capital S, okay? S in caps. Can you search like stream 3D content, or is this just a display of 3D content? Not the same thing. How far can you search? Is it just a proof of concept? The difference between AR, augmented reality, and VR, virtual reality, is huge. Augmented reality is like the near future. It's here, okay? It's right now only in the US and only on mobile. But a little taste of what the future holds for us, the very near future. And finally in the news, 5 trends for the 2020s. These trends will reshape consumer behavior in the decade ahead. You can start writing them now, says David Matin on Substack, on his newsletter. SFRU is a new strategy and future consultancy. We are here to help your business understand and prosper inside a changing world. Well, those are the 5 trends. 1, public goods. 2, the metaversal self. I'll go into a couple of details in a few seconds. Okay. Number 3, new workflows. Number 4, B2A. Number 5, sustainability as a service. So public goods. In the 2020s, smart brands will share every step of their journey. Transparency always wins. The communication, the way we can reach out directly to consumers and our brands can pass on values and empower everyone is definitely groundbreaking compared to when I started doing marketing in the 1990s. So yeah, proximity and transparency. Next, The metaversal self. New virtual horizons meet old age human needs. Now, millions will take the metaverse to serve fundamental human needs such as social connections, well-being, and status. What is it all about? Well, that's the thing. Video games, augmented reality, virtual reality, this technology will keep on taking more and more space in our lives. And for sure, the human mind, the psychology has not changed a bit, but the tools we have on hands now will change everything in the way we communicate and the way we evolve inside those virtual world or hybrid virtual real world. Next, new workflows. In the 2020s, career paths are redrawn around a new economy and changing lives. In the 2020s, new armies of independent workers will reject traditional careers in favor of innovative, unconventional, new paths founded on their unique mixtures of skills, creativity, and enterprise. Well, guess what? When I was young, I'm over 50 years old now, being an entrepreneur was not the thing. You had to go to college, get a degree, get a job in a company, and eat shit until you move up the ladder. That's what you were supposed to do. I didn't. And that was the 1990s. In the early 2000s, I studied a job called SEO, which didn't exist before. So I'm happy that this is a larger move because I've been programmed this way differently than the usual path. Is society going to be able to handle it? I'm not sure, but for those who can take advantage of it, please do. It works. B2A. Are you ready for the rise of business to algorithm? That's a new one. You know all about B2C and B2B, but those distinctions are obsolete. Get ready for the age of B2E or business to algorithms, in which algorithms make buying decisions on behalf of consumers. So yeah, you have to convince algorithms, not people anymore. That's a new one. Number 5, sustainability as a service. The consumer quest for ultra convenience and positive impact converge. In the 2020s, consumers will embrace sustainability as a service. That means tools and services that prioritizes sustainable consumption, but also make it easier and more convenient than ever. I guess climate change is finally making a big enough impact for everyone to start doing something about it. That was the news for this week. All the links I mentioned can be found on SEOconspiracy.com. If you look for the post in the alternative search news category, and it's the post for week 51. We're almost done with 2020, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Until next time, take care.